let's bring in our newest member to the Busted Open family, Natalya. Natalya, how are you? And it's great to have you a part of our team, and I can't wait for Thursday.
Oh, thank you so much, Dave. I'm doing great. I'm so excited. I'm so happy that like I can finally be a part of the Busted Open family because I love the show. I love everybody that does the show, and it just feels like such a great fit. So I'm very excited. I'm very grateful.
I am excited as well. And this is going to be big. You and I working together, Natalya. I don't know what you're jumping into. Mark and Bully could tell you, but I am super excited to be a part of history and what's going to happen here on Thursday morning.
Me too. It'll be fun, but I think I love your passion. So I feel like whether people agree with you or don't agree with you, I love that you bring so much passion. That's one of the reasons why I was so excited to do the show with you.
And really, and Bully and Mark, it's really about you, Natalya. It's about you. And what I'm excited about, and we've seen so many levels of your success in the ring. I'm very, very excited, Natalya, for our fans to hear a different side of you. And I know you got your book coming up, and that this is a good companion piece to what we're going to hear on Thursday mornings.
I think it's great because, for me, I love wrestling and I've grown up with wrestling my entire life and I've seen so many different phases of it. And I know so many people in the industry and I feel like, I'm really proud of the relationships that I have in the industry with so many people, especially the people that are on Busted Open. But I feel like I'm just excited to be able to share like my perspective and I talk about wrestling all day long. I feel like I'm around wrestling all day long. I watch wrestling from every corner of the world, usually every single day. So it's exciting that, people really want to hear my perspective on it. And I'm excited to share it, even if it gets a little unhinged.
Okay.
Natty, we talk about so many different things here on Busted Open, whether we're goofing around, having a good time with wrestling, or whether we're deep diving and really analyzing matches and promos and being brutally honest about how we feel about things. What are you looking forward to talking about on Busted Open?
I feel like for me, because I'm so deeply embedded in the industry, like especially with TJ was a wrestler, now he's a producer, so he has this different perspective, which I get to like absorb every day, especially when we do shows, because he works, with so many different talent, but he also works like with, he's in there with the horses' heads, so to speak. So I get his perspective. I get from growing up in the family, I have that perspective. But for me, I think the coolest perspective is that I'm actually in the trenches. So I'm in so deep. Like I've been with WWE for 18 years. I've been with them uninterrupted for 18 years. So I'm actively doing this. I'm the longest tenured female wrestler that they've ever had. And so for me, I have a different perspective because I'm actively doing it. And I see so many different things that I'm like, oh, I wish I would have known that then. And I wish I wish I could give this person advice, or I wish I could tell them to calm down, or I wish I could, like, I feel like through this show, I feel like I'll have more of a voice. And that's what I love is like, even for our relationship, Bubba, like you have actually helped me in so many ways by kind of being unapologetic. And I think maybe my voice can help somebody else that kind of needs that little bit of I wouldn't say kick in the ass, but sometimes people do their best work when they have a chip on their shoulder or when they're pissed off or when they have something to prove or when someone not necessarily calls them out, but when they point out like, hey, what the fuck is going on with Natty? And it's like it in a lot of ways, it drove me to go, this is what I want to do. And I'm screaming and shouting that I want to do it. Now I'm going to do it. And so I would love to do for others kind of what you did for me in the sense where you were like, I want to see more of this, and then I'm like, well, shit, I want to do more of this. And then it drove me, in a lot of ways, you drove me to want to do outside shows in WWE because I was like, there's just so much more that Natty wants to do. And Natalya is very, very safe within the industry. I mean, I have great relationships. I have a great career in WWE, but Natty wants to break out and just I thrive on literally for me personally, I love that kill or be killed mentality of like I want to fight for my life. It turns me on. Honestly, it just makes me like I want to wake up in the morning and like feel that rush. And so that's what, like, in a lot of ways, Bubba, you pushed me to do that. So thank you. I appreciate that very much. But even on LFG, because I watch LFG every week, I was at the PC last week filming something, and I said this to some of the LFG kids. I said, Bubba I think the reason why, that's why, with Tyra, you brought out something great in her because you called her out and you said, hey, like, I need to see something different in you. Like, come on, you made her step up. And I said, then she was like pissed. Like when I saw her pissed off after, and she was like, he's never, yeah, like she cut a promo on you. I watched that with TJ and I was like, that is what we needed to see from her. That is what I wanted to see from her. So I was like, that's what makes the show exciting, is I love that shit. I really do. So sometimes you just need people to not call you out in a bad way, but just push you. So I think that this will be cool for me to be able to give a lot of different perspectives.
Addie, you know what I want to see. I'm gonna tell you, it's two things I want to see. One, you're gonna have the ability to do something that none of us can do, which is give a perspective from a woman's standpoint. And first off, and then secondly, you come from a historic wrestling family, and to be able to give representation and experience based off what you've seen and who you've been around is going to be crazy.
Yes.
And also, on top of that, there's this guy, Mark from Texas, that will call in every now and then and just poke the bear. Just ask random crazy ass questions. I can't wait for you to get a call from Mark from Texas.
Well, Mark from Texas better be ready for Natty, because Natalya puts up with a little bit of shit, but Natty doesn't take shit from anyone.
You talked about our conversation and how it really lit a fire under your ass, and you hope to light a fire under others' asses, and that fire burned in GCW a couple of weeks ago, but it burned the other night in the ECW arena. We just had Kenzie on a little bit earlier on. Talk to us about your ECW arena experience and your match with Kenzie Page.
So that experience was unbelievable because it was I wanted to do Bloodsport because, for GCW, I wanted to do Bloodsport because I wanted to show a different side of me that I haven't, I feel like I needed to awaken. And the match just a couple days ago for NWA at the ECW arena, sold out show, for my very, very good friend Billy Corgan. That match was me also trying to remind everybody that Bloodsport, the performance that I gave at Bloodsport, the masterclass performance that I gave at Bloodsport, that was not a fluke. And so what we did 2 days ago for NWA was even better than what I did at Bloodsport, because for me, for me, I'm fighting for my life. And that's what I was saying earlier, is it really, really makes me want to wake up in the morning. And when I'm working out, like today, I was just thinking about the match. I was reliving that match. Like, it just lights my fire in a different way. And so I wanted to remind people that what I did at Bloodsport was a masterclass. And what I did 2 days ago at NWA was even better than that. And so to have an entire arena of people on their feet, if you see pictures, and I don't know where you can really watch the match. Some people are sending me clips on YouTube and things like that, but everybody's on their feet. And they had just done 18 matches prior because they were filming a large TV taping. Billy does, they were filming 5 shows at once. So we were the 18th match and people are on their feet because I wanted to engage them in a different way. They've seen Natalya, and Natalya has done fantastic work in WWE over the last 18 years. But they're getting a chance to see Natty now, and Natty is a totally different animal than anything that they've ever seen before. Natty, when Natty's out there, she's in a different world. I'm unhinged. So shit's gonna go down, things are gonna get crazy, and it's really just the gloves are off. And so that's what along with a very technical match, shit got crazy and people saw a very, very different side of me, and people really want to see that side of me in WWE. Now, I would love to be able to do that, and I have a lot more, a lot of cool stuff coming up that I haven't announced. But to me, I'm just loving what I'm doing. I'm having so much fun, and I'm Kenzie Page impressed the shit out of me. She is an asshole, but she is an impressive asshole, and I look forward to beating her ass again.
I love it.
So would you say that this very young girl with very limited amount of time in the wrestling business was able to bring some of the best stuff out of Natty Neidhart that we've seen in a while?
Well, I did for Kenzie what I've done for many people in the industry. And if I'm going to talk the talk, I'm going to remind you guys of the walks that I've walked. You look at Charlotte Flair. Charlotte wasn't able to be Charlotte until I brought out a different side in her. So I was able to do that. I gave Charlotte the natty rub. And Charlotte is a very close friend of mine. I absolutely love her and I respect the shit out of Charlotte. But Charlotte talks about it all the time. When I had that match with her at TakeOver, in 2014, I brought out a different side of her, a side of her that she didn't know existed. So I did the same thing for Kenzie. I did the exact same thing for Kenzie. Kenzie is in her early 20s, and she got to understand about who the fuck I am. I got to run circles around Kenzie. I'm 42 years old running circles around a 20-year-old girl. And that's why when you train in the dungeon, you learn how to fight for your life. You learn how to fight for your life. Kenzie didn't realize when she was wrestling me that I love the taste of blood in my mouth. I love bruises underneath my clothes. I fucking live for this. She didn't realize that I love that feeling. So when she worked with me, like we had a great match. I think I will safely say I think it was the match of the night. Had everybody a sold out ECW arena on their feet. She got to understand about the natty rub because she's going to spend the rest of her career chasing the dragon to have a match like that. She's going to spend the rest of her career doing it just like Charlotte has spent the rest of her career chasing to find a match that she had with me in 2014.
I hope they thanked you for the house on Saturday because, Natalya, sold out crowd in the ECW arena on Saturday for the NWA. They're not used to seeing those two words. So I hope they understood that the reason why they had the crowd that they had was because of you.
Well, listen, nothing is done alone. And like I said, the match that I had with Charlotte in 2014, that was because Hunter gave us that opportunity. If I didn't have the platform to do it and the performer in Charlotte, who's unbelievable. She's one of the greatest female wrestlers of our time. If I didn't have her working with her, helping us all coming together as a team, if I didn't have Kenzie bringing her A game, if Billy didn't give me the opportunity, if Triple H and Nick Khan hadn't given me the chance and said, hey, yes, we're going to let Natty go and do that show. So while I agree with you that, thank me for the house, but I'm also in all seriousness, going to thank them too, because I needed that show at NWA as much as NWA needed me. I needed that show at GCW Bloodsport. I needed that as much as they needed me. It's a group effort. It's a team effort. It's everybody coming together and making it happen. I wouldn't be able to do it. I wouldn't be able to do it on my own. So a lot of people came together to make that happen and make that possible.
Well, and that's why we want this on Thursday because this fire and you're getting fired up right now. This is why everybody's got to tune into this show at 11 a.m. on Thursday because this is, you have free reign here, Natalya. This is going to be your hour. So I'm really looking forward to doing this, and I'm going to just step aside. I'm not going to get in your way because I think we're going to learn a lot about you each and every Thursday morning at 11 o'clock.
Oh, I'm excited because Natty's a totally different person than Natalya. Natalya is great. Natalya has a long threshold to put up with a lot of bullshit. But Natty doesn't take shit from anybody. So this is going to be cool. I think we should definitely have a Natty buzzer and a Natalya buzzer. And then you guys can
we got to do this.
Which one you want.
So what am I calling you? Am I calling you Natalya or am I calling you Natty?
You got to guess. Who you talking to?
Dave, you can just call me Natty by nature, naughty by choice.
Okay, I'm gonna go now because I'm gonna get in trouble.
But you go, Bubba. Bubba,
settle your tea kettle.
Settle your tea kettle, Bubba. I love you. You're my favorite jerk. I love you so much.
And you're slowly becoming my favorite jerk, also. Listening to you just now, I did this for Charlotte and I did this for you, and if it wasn't for me, you wouldn't have done this. I would have bottled that 1 minute and thrown it on Monday Night Raw any day of the week. All of you Charlotte bitches, all of your careers to me, If it's not for me, none of you are here. That would be your. I always thought the best of you now, because you are a full-blown woman who understands who the hell she is. You need to enforce that demeanor, that attitude on the entire women's division, and beat up what's her name while you're at it.
Trust me, I can't wait to do it, and I have full faith that that opportunity will come. The powers that be and I, we're firing on all cylinders. And I wasn't saying that to be a bitch to Charlotte, because Charlotte knows I adore her. I have nothing but respect for her, but I'm the root of greatness. When you look at some of the greatest female wrestlers that have ever walked through WWE, they usually started with me first, and I was the one that helped them. But most people spend their entire lives trying to get to WWE, hoping that they can feel that rush and taste that. And they get here and then they never find their voice. And so for me, now that I'm here 18 years deep, I feel like I'm really firing on all cylinders, and I've finally found my voice. And it's, like I said, Natty's a little bit of an asshole, but I'm excited to parlay that into Natalya. So stay tuned, because I've got some great stuff coming up.